Hello everyone, Blaze here, back again. This time it's a tag video. This is a tag video that was done by a good friend of mine, DM Friend 26. I've been friends with him on YouTube and like My Anime List, etc. for a number of years now, I think, almost. Yeah, really cool guy, and he did a tag all about anime collecting. So we're going to get into it. There's 8 questions. First one was most expensive box set in your collection. So what's the most expensive? Well, the one I spent the most money on isn't necessarily a single thing, but it is a complete show. That is Maison Ikoku. This is box 1. We have to put them up here, aren't we? So we've got box 1. Let's lift this up. There we go. Box 1. Box 2. Box 3, those ones are relatively easy to get a hold of. Well, they were, I'm not sure they are anymore, but if they are still relatively easy to get a hold of, and none of these will cost you more than $50, I don't think. But then from here on, they all get quite expensive. So we've then got box 4, which can run you a lot of money these days. 3 figures, I think. Box 5. Box 6. Box 7. And finally, the most ridiculous one of the lot, box 8. Now, Maison Ikoku is one of my absolute favourite series ever. I love this franchise, or at least I love this series. I haven't actually read the manga or anything, but big fan of it. It's a 1980s romantic comedy, which has a blossoming love story between a Godai and a Kyoko. Kyoko and Godai there, and yeah, Godai is a ronin that lives at Maison Ikoku with a kind of eccentric cast of fellow residents, and Kyoko is their new house manager or something. I can't remember what they're actually called, but yeah, she basically just takes care of the premises. And yeah, it's just a fantastic romantic comedy. Like I said, the cast is really great. I love it. This is the most expensive set in my collection because I bought this long after the series had finished being released by Viz Media. It was put out by Viz Media, I think between like the years of like 2006 all the way up to like 2008. It was quite a late release in terms of like the anime boom and stuff. Like it was right at the end of it where sales numbers on anime box sets had really started to drop. And the fact we got this at all is kind of surprising. Maison Ikoku wasn't a great seller for Viz Media on VHS. They originally released it on VHS, the first 36 episodes, and dubbed them, and then they stopped those releases, and then they revived them like some 8 years later, as I said, on DVD. And the first 36 episodes of the DVDs are the original VHS dub, and then from there on it's a new dub, which changes some of the cast. Not all the cast changes. Kyoko doesn't change, but Godai does. It can be a little bit jarring, but you get used to it quite quickly, and they did pretty well to get actors that are on comparable in terms of voice, etc. But yeah, this complete collection cost me, I think it was $550. So yeah, a lot of money. It's actually no, I think no, it was £500. The dollars was, or was it? I can't remember, but I actually can't remember, probably because I don't want to remember because of how much money it was. But it was right out there between $500 and $700 or something insane. But either way, it's the most expensive thing I've ever purchased, and I didn't just purchase it with money that I just have flying off trees in my back garden or anything. I actually sold, like, I used to be a video game collector. I sold like half of my collection. I used to have a lot of rare shmup games, like the 2D shooters that are really collectible. I used to have a bunch of those, and I sold pretty much all of those off, apart from my absolute 2 favourites. I think everything else went. Because that basically funded this major purchase. But so yeah, Maison Ikoku is the most expensive box set, I guess. But considering it's actually 8 sets, I decided I'd quickly just talk about, since we talked about this for the 5 minutes anyway, but I thought we'd just quickly mention the most expensive thing I bought that is literally just a singular box set, which is this beautiful import of Razifon, the Bones Mecha series from like 2002. I've done an unboxing video of this. I'll leave the description I'll leave a link in the description, so I won't unbox the whole thing, but it is an absolutely gorgeous set. I love this thing. This cost me 20,000 yen. I can't remember what the conversion rate was into pounds, but somewhere in the region of probably about £90. So yeah, and about $130–40 maybe, even like, at the time. The conversion rate's not that great for us at the moment because we're having an election, but yeah. Razaphon was probably the singular box set that cost me the most money, but Maze no Koku by far is the most expensive one. In fact, even my JoJo Bizarre Adventure volumes, 9 volumes, cost more than this, but obviously they're not singular either. But anyway, moving on, the least expensive box set. I don't believe I actually got that one out. No, I didn't, because I don't actually have it anymore, which kind of sucks, but I need something. Here, why don't you take a look at Tochiro? while I mention something that has nothing to do with him. The most least expensive box set I ever got is the complete, I'll put a picture here as well, because I'll do some editing on this as well. But, so a picture of the box set. The Gundam Wing Complete Operations. It had all 10 volumes in it and the art box. The art box wasn't in the greatest of condition. In fact, I think I actually have pictures of my collection from when I sold it still, so you'll see the one I actually owned. So yeah, Gundam Wing Complete Operations, which I picked up for the measly tiny little sum of £6, plus I think it was like £2 postage, so it's like £8. You're talking about somewhere in the region of like $12–13, if that. It was super cheap, just a random eBay auction that I won. Truly crazy. Another one that I got super cheap that I don't have a picture of was the complete second season of Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya on DVD. That includes like the endless, basically all the episodes that were exclusive to the rerun of the show. So the Endless 8 and like a couple of other episodes or whatever. Like 14 I think it was in the end, and yeah, I got that for like £2. At the time it was like selling for at least 50 quid, like, or maybe $50 or something, so yeah, that was also a complete steal. Okay, so see you later, Tochiro. So that was that. Favourite box set, my most favourite thing is definitely, without a doubt, I wonder if any of you can guess just by the noise. I'd be surprised if you could, but it's my favourite show of all time, or at least a joint favourite, but essentially favourite. Yes, the Full Metal Alchemist tins that Funimation put out. So that one's got 5 volumes in it, this one's got 4, and this one also has 4. That's the complete set of the 51? I think it's 51 actually. Episode run of Full Metal Alchemist, the original 2003 series, which I absolutely love and adore. It's just the absolute perfect adventure story. You know, I mean, it was made to be liked by as many people as possible. You know, it's, but I think it's just so well executed. I adore it. I adore this series so much. I love Brotherhood. In my opinion, this series is a 10 out of 10 series, despite some of the flaws that become apparent once you watch Brotherhood. You realise there are some problems with this show. The original run, like in terms of episodic stuff, and obviously the fact, half the series is complete filler, given that the original manga hadn't finished. But I think they did a reasonably good job, if not actually way better than a reasonably good job. They did a fantastic job, despite the fact they didn't actually know how the ending was going to come about. Obviously they kind of had a good idea of what the ending was going to be, but I won't spoil it, but it's kind of obvious, I guess. But yeah, Full Metal Alchemist, all 3 of these beautiful metal tin sets, and the volumes sit inside. Each one came with the soundtracks, which I actually have just to my right, so I'll go and pick them up. So my left, in fact. And this one, hopefully all that stuff won't suddenly fall down, but yeah, they came with the 3 soundtracks as well, which is really awesome. So, and yeah, the first tin has the first 5, and just really, really awesome sets. Beautiful stuff. Love them, love them, love them. So yeah, those are my favourite sets, because it's my favourite show and they come in this awesome packaging. So yeah, let's move on to the question 4. Okay, so question 4 is your least favourite box set. Now, this question was actually quite hard for me to answer, because for the most part, I don't buy stuff that, I mean, I try not to anyway. I don't buy stuff that I really don't like. I mean, like I hope he doesn't mind me saying this. Like Dylan said, I'm pretty sure he says his name in the videos, or has done. Like Dylan said, or DMFriend26, he said he doesn't like stack packs where you get a. In fact, I have this to hand. This is the Vampire Princess Miyu set from Made in Japan. As you can see, it's a stack pack. And yeah, I don't like these because, as he said, you don't get to see the disc art in its entirety. Like, they're all stacked on top of each other, and obviously there's always the worry that the discs will be damaged as well because they're all touching each other. So yeah, they're not great. I don't like those. Obviously, I don't like anime classics or save editions. I only have one single Anime Classics edition in my collection. But the thing, this is like sort of, well, basically the thing I least like in my collection, or I least like the fact that I own, is this. This is the Orimo 2 limited edition complete box set. This is season 2 of Orimo from Aniplex of America. I hate the fact I own this for a couple of reasons. The first reason is I hate this series. This second season, I think, is an absolute train wreck, and not just for the obvious reason of how it ends up. It's basically because how it ends up was pretty much, I guess, always going to happen. It's more that the actual season itself just devolves into just complete and utter crap. It really does. Like, it just turns into this really shitty show, where the first season, in my opinion, while not to everyone's taste, was still a reasonably decent show. Sure, it had some stuff in it just because of the nature of what the series is about, and to some extent, but it wasn't really that bad in the first season. I just enjoyed it as another otaku type show. But the second season, other than like one episode, is terrible throughout. So I hate the fact I own it because, one, it's an Aniplex of America release, so it cost a crap ton of money. This is not a cheap box set by any means. And two, because I hate the show. So why did I hate this season? Why did I buy it? Because I wanted to own all the series for better or worse. But better or worse, and certainly worse in this case, I guess. I just had to own all of it. I had to own the complete story, because I have the first season limited edition DVD box set, and I also have the import of the Blu-ray from Japan of the first season as well. So I'm a big fan of the first season, the original TV version, not the true ending. I think it's from there on it kind of devolves into terrible things. But I like the original TV series. I thought it was good. But yeah, this is my least favourite box set. I think it's a nice enough box set. I mean, you get the 2 discs, you get a bunch of posters, art cards, the box is nice, it has a matte finish. I don't mind this image, it's fine. Like, I don't hate the box set, I just hate the fact I own the box set, and I hate what's on the discs in the box set. So far as least favourite, this is definitely probably my least favourite box set for the reasons I just described. Okay, something that's certainly not my least favourite, and is one of my favourites by a long way. Question 5 is most interesting presentation design in your collection. Okay, if you guys haven't seen this set, you're going to be amazed. Like, anyone who's not seen what this set is like is going to be gobsmacked, for anyone that likes collector's editions, because this is by far the most fancy collector's edition I own. The show itself, probably not worthy. I've actually not watched the show yet. I've wanted to watch the show for like years now, like a good couple of years, and every single time I think about watching it, I remember how everyone said it's not very good, despite the fact it's about something I love. But I know what Gonzo, the studio, is capable of. So one of the things I almost picked was Basilisk. I have a really nice collector's edition of that, which Dylan also picked for his. He had a slightly different version, but I have a wooden set for that. But this is okay, here it is. Trinity Blood, the complete box set from Funimation. This thing is the most unworthy show, apparently. Like I said, I haven't seen it. I really want to, just haven't got around to it yet. But this show is apparently not that great. It's about vampires. I think it's episodic, and has a really awesome gothic art style. Something I plan to eventually finally watch this year, I hope. I really want to. But yeah, this is a set, and it weighs a ton. It really does weigh a ton. It is made out of, I'm pretty sure it is made out of wood. Or at least something that is very close to wood. Because it is, you hear that? It's really solid. Okay, so let's turn it around again. And we got the thing on the top that says Trinity Blood, and the thing on the bottom Trinity Blood again. Okay, you ready for this? Are you ready? Okay, it opens like this. Oh. You see, it's got this freaking metal. This is metal, like proper metal, and these things slide up like that, and that's how it opens. And then you bring out each volume. Let's do one at a time, Blaze. Not okay. I failed there, but so each volume comes with a slip cover. This nice glossy slip cover, which is also embossed on the back, as you can kind of see. So, and then you got. I won't do each volume. This is just, we'll do just the first one, but it folds out. And you got these like tarot cards pertaining to characters. You've got this pretty thick booklet, and each volume comes with one with like background stuff on it. Let's just move this back a little bit more. And then it opens up like this. We've got another image, and then we've got the disc, and then we've got this nice art image at the end as well. You can kind of see the disc. But yeah, just absolutely beautiful. We'll go on the back as well. Just how much do you guys want this set? Like seriously, I mean, it's a shame the show's apparently not very good, because holy crap, this is one of the most beautiful sets I've ever seen. So yeah, that is the Trinity Blood set. That is by far the most interesting set in my collection, in my opinion. It has quite a lot of interesting sets. I have the complete, as I call it, Gonzo trilogy. Basically, there were 3 shows put out by Funimation in this sort of really fancy presentation that were all Gonzo shows. Trinity Blood was one, Basilisk was another, and Speed Grapher was another one as well. I've done an unboxing for Speed Grapher, so I'll put that in the description down below, but I have yet to do an unboxing of Trinity Blood or Basilisk. I will probably end up doing that at some point. But yeah, but that is easily the most interesting set in my collection. It is just beautiful. If I can try and get that in without destroying it all. There we go. And you can see all the volumes sitting there. Just fancy. You see, even on the inside, it's a bit hard to tell as I've got everything in there, but even on the inside there's images. And look how thick this is. Just, it's ridiculous. So yeah. Trinity Blood. The complete box set. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick pause and we'll be back in a sec. Okay, so question 6. Favourite anime distributor. This is a toss-up between a few companies. Like, I really like what Discotek are doing, obviously. I really like what Sentai Filmworks do. I think they do great stuff as well. You know, so yeah. Yeah, Funimation is still pretty great as well for the most part. But there's only one company out there where I like their sets and what they were doing so much, I decided to collect them all. And even though I am behind, I'm 4 or 5 box sets behind still. Seems to be always behind. I've never managed to catch up because they are expensive. But this is my, so far, my collection of NIS America releases. Just, I love these premium editions. I thought they were so interesting and unique, and the shows they were originally bringing out were really interesting shows, like sort of not necessarily obscure, but a little bit like that. It felt like they were always bringing out shows that were super interesting and at least pretty darn good. Over time though, they started doing stuff that I was less interested in, which has kind of been a little bit frustrating, like stuff like Love Live, even though it was a huge seller for them, so it was a wise business decision, but it didn't really seem to fit with the rest of the stuff they've been picking up, and stuff like Euro Yuri as well. And then the terrible, frankly, Chronicles of the Going Home Club. That is the first NIS America release I'll be buying, solely because I'm so far in now, I don't feel like I can get out. So yeah, because I really didn't like that show at all. I think it's terrible, but I will probably end up buying it just because I can't handle the fact of not having just one of them. But who knows if I'll actually stick to that. I may actually skip it. But anyway, so yeah, NIS America, probably without a doubt my favourite anime distributor, at least for now. I said I've been lukewarm on them a bit. There's only my Cardcaptor Sakura's in that corner right now. Everything's, as I said, my collection's in a mess, but that's where Cardcaptor Sakura is. Otherwise, everything's here. If I was to recommend my favourite ones from them, You got like Anohana, which is like heartbreaking and tragic and amazing. Arakawa Under the Bridge, which is a fantastic gag comedy, or sort of like that anyway. It's brilliant. Bunny Drop is really nice and heartfelt. It's a shame the manga kind of ruins the spirit of the original series. Daily Highs High School Boys is amazing. Centric Family is hilarious and heartwarming as well. It's just a great show. Garcia Prince M, The Burning Up, the Go Nagai series is pretty great. Hanasaki Iroha is a really good slice of life coming of age story. They're just all good. Like I love House of Five Leaves. I love Katanogatari. I love Kimi ni Todoke. I did like Love Live School Idol Project. Still haven't watched Natsumi Book and Friends, even though it's like one of the best series ever made. I've still not got around to it. Occult Academy wasn't too bad. Still haven't watched any of these either yet. Toradora was really cool. Obviously, I still own the originals because at this point I don't really want to get rid of any of them. Especially since they're not actually worth as much as they used to now anyway, because the Blu-ray came out. Umaneko Wagnaria, or Working, is also really good, and Sakura is not bad either. But yeah, just really awesome stuff from NIS America. Love what they do. Let's go and talk about a company where I'm a bit mixed about what they do. That's the next question. Okay, next, question 7 is your least favourite anime distributor. My least favourite... This was really difficult. I had some problems with some companies, Media Blasters, who just couldn't get stuff out a lot of the time, and it was really frustrating. I had to keep delaying stuff. Things like that. But honestly, when it really comes down to it, it's kind of, I'm pretty much happy with what most companies do most of the time. But if there was one company that sort of peed me off more than once, it is Viz Media. Just case in point, Sailor Moon. Holy crap, is this the most train wreck of a release you've ever seen? I know people are still buying these, and a lot of people are buying them because they just want to own Sailor Moon, and that's fine, I guess, but some of us out there have, at least, I won't sound too high and mighty about it, because I'm not really that sort of person, but suffice it to say, I'll try and think of the right phrase, but basically what the standard that I expect this Sailor Moon release falls far, far below it, to the point where I just couldn't continue buying them. I refuse. This Blu-ray release of Sailor Moon, the video quality is absolutely atrocious. Everything that they upscaled it, they DNR'd it to all hell. All the detail is smoothed and smudged and gone. All the lines are all just gross. It just the video quality is gross. When I'm watching it, it just looks like someone has wiped Vaseline all over the freaking screen or something. It is absolutely atrocious, and I'll give them credit. It's a really nice box set, and the dub is pretty decent, but it's just an absolute atrocity, the quality. If they didn't have access to HD masters, which has become even more apparent given that the Japanese release is going to be an upscale as well, then why release it on Blu-ray? Just don't. Just put it out on DVD, because the DVDs that have been released around the rest of the world, in Europe and in Japan itself, etc., look really great. They look better than this freaking Blu-ray. And the worst part of it is, this includes the DVD. It's a Blu-ray and DVD combo pack, but the DVD is just what's on the Blu-ray in lower resolution, which is ridiculous because the Blu-ray already looks terrible. You put it in lower resolution, it's going to look even fucking worse, as it does. So yeah, suffice it to say, I'm not buying any more of these releases. I will eventually sell this release. Honestly, Sailor Moon didn't exactly blow me away anyway. I watched the first 12 episodes. I thought this is a decent show. I would like to watch all of it because it's such a historic show, in terms of popularity. The same with Dragon Ball Z, etc. I like DBZ more, but especially more than Sailor Moon. But I would like to eventually watch all of Sailor Moon. Even though it's not really my cup of tea, I would like to sit down and watch all of it at some point. But I'm not doing it through Viz Media's releases. And they're not going to change them because loads of people are still buying them. A lot of people think there's nothing wrong with these releases. Frankly, those people are blind. It's just so bad. I can't stomach the video quality because it pains me, because when they wipe out the detail that was put in on those cells, when they were painted by the artists that brought this show to life, when you can no longer see that stuff, when the paint strokes are no longer visible because they've been completely smudged to oblivion by the DNR and etc., then you can count me out, because that's... I love anime as not just as a medium to tell stories, etc., but I also love the art. I love the art form of anime and the creation that goes into it, and the people that put in the hundreds of man and woman hours to create these stories and shows that we love. You know, I appreciate that stuff. To see it completely annihilated by some complete twat using a video processing software and being hired by Viz Media to do so, and then Viz Media coming out and championing the video quality and saying there's nothing wrong with it, is a complete insult to me and anyone who ever worked on this show, frankly. And any real fan, I hate saying stuff like that, but any real fan should at least acknowledge that. They can continue buying the sets, because having Sailor Moon at all is enough for some people, and I get it. But they should not be happy with the video quality that Viz Media produced for these sets. So, yeah, rant over. One of the other things, I guess, that also puts Viz Media in this bracket of least favourite distributor is one of my absolute favourite series, Monster. They obviously released box set 1 many years ago now, back in like 2009 or something. They dubbed this entire 74 episode series. It was broadcast on television in America in its entirety, all 74 episodes on the Sci-Fi Channel. They put out one box set as it was still broadcasting on television, and because it didn't sell very well, they decided to never release any more of it. Well, frankly, if it's still on television, maybe wait until the television broadcast is over, because maybe people didn't want to go out and buy box set 1 without having seen the entire show. Like, that's also a pretty serious consideration. And also, if you're going to put in the money to bankroll an entire 74 episode series dubbed, I mean, put it into context. These days, we don't get 100% of shows dubbed. Like, getting shows dubbed is a very, other than Funimation, I guess Viz Media still, like, they still dub everything. But when you think about Sentai Filmworks and how they run their business, they decide on a show-by-show basis whether if something is worthy of a dub. So, to think that Viz Media decided Monster was worthy of a dub, to put all that money into 74 episodes, to put the money in to have it broadcast on television in its entirety, and then to drop it after a single box set. Are you fucking kidding me? So yeah, and they put to shame because Siren Visual in Australia put out every single volume, one after the other, on a month-by-month basis for 5 months at the beginning of last year. January, February, March, April, May. Oh look, we now own all of Monster on DVD. Like, it's not difficult, Viz. I mean, you know, it's just the market in Australia is smaller than America. Like, they were able to do it, and yeah, they didn't even have to bankroll the freaking dub. But given that Viz had already put the money into the dub, you think they'd release the whole show. So yeah, Viz Media, not my favourite company for two extreme reasons like that. Because I can't say these sort of things about other companies in America, at least in ones that have directly affected me. So yeah, there's 2 more questions, I think. Oh, 1 more question. Favourite place to buy anime? My favourite place to buy anime is Amazon. It's the easiest place for me to buy. As you know, I buy mostly American shows. I like the packaging more. I like the fact they don't have the BBFC ratings on them. I'm sure you guys in America, they're basically, you know, how in the UK we have, you know, 15 or 18 written on them. You can see it over there on the dark and black stuff. Yeah, I don't like that stuff, so I'd rather buy the American releases, because 1, they look nicer, and 2, they don't have that stuff on them. And you know, the American releases have NTSC video, which is better for DVDs, etc., etc. Like a multitude of reasons. And the best place for me to buy stuff is Amazon UK. I just buy from American sellers that list American releases on Amazon UK. So yeah, that's my favorite place to buy anime. Obviously, if I lived in America, it would probably be Right Stuff, but living in the UK, it's a lot easier to buy stuff from Amazon UK. So yeah, that's been this tag video. It was pretty long. Apologies for that. I will tag people, but I can't really think of anyone right now. So I'm going. I suppose let's try and think of people off the top of my head. No, I can't think of anything. I can't think of a group of people right now. At least 4 people. So I will put that at the end of this video in a minute. So yeah, I'll see you then, I guess.